From IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, this is your report from Washington. There are 49 days left until the presidential election. In open defiance of state regulations and his own administration's pandemic health guidelines, President Donald Trump hosted his first indoor rally since June, telling a packed, nearly massless Nevada crowd that the nation was, quote, making the last turn in defeating the virus. Vice President Mike Pence has canceled plans to attend a Trump campaign fundraiser in Montana following revelations that the event's host had expressed support for the QAnon conspiracy theory. A new report accuses the Trump administration of transferring $4 million from the fund created to cover medical services for firefighters, first responders, and EMTs who rushed to Ground Zero on 9/11. The Treasury Department has not commented. Over the weekend, Biden continued to focus on his economic rescue plan and rolled out a new series of campaign ads focused on preserving and expanding health insurance. The New York Times reports that Joe Biden's campaign is making preparations for a drawn-out legal battle over the November election as wrangling over mail voting escalates and President Trump refuses to promise that he will accept the official results if he loses. In building what amounts to a legal war room that will be on call throughout the final days of the campaign and beyond, the Biden team has enlisted 2 former Solicitor Generals and hundreds of other lawyers. Separately, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is committing at least $100 million to help Joe Biden's presidential campaign in the crucial battleground state of Florida. Also, the Democratic megadonor Susan Sandler revealed today that she would pour $200 million into racial justice efforts, including support for a number of progressive organizations that are working to register new voters from underrepresented groups in battleground states. Finally, in a clear sign of the dismantling of the National Rifle Association, the NRA's influence appears to have come to an end. This year, the NRA spent $9.2 million on political expenditures. This figure pales in comparison to the $54.4 million the NRA spent in 2016. Now, there was one development from Capitol Hill late last week that almost went unnoticed. The Republican Senate actually passed a bill. It was Senate Resolution 688. The measure declared September 25th, 2020, National Lobster Day. It will be interesting to see how many Americans can actually afford to celebrate with lobster, given the Republican Senate's failure to pass comprehensive COVID-19 relief, including money for the unemployed, support for the states, support for small businesses, and a plan to rescue the economy. Nevertheless, the measure is a win for lobsters, which were once so looked down upon that it was served to prisoners in New England who sued, arguing that lobster meals constituted cruel and inhumane treatment under the Constitution. Rapper Kanye West will not qualify to be on the presidential ballot in the battleground state of Wisconsin after missing a filing deadline a judge ruled late Friday, upholding a bipartisan decision by the state's election commission. The decision is expected to be repealed. In other news, TikTok has chosen Oracle over Microsoft as the American tech partner that could help keep the popular video share app running in the US, according to a person familiar with the deal. Generally, global shares rose Monday despite the roller coaster ride that Wall Street ended with last week as traders awaited indications from the Federal Reserve, which are to be announced later this week. Finally, the current COVID death toll from Johns Hopkins University is over 194,084 American souls lost and 924,643 global souls lost with no end in sight. That is your report for this day, September 14, 2020, from IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, smart television for a smarter global community, from dictatorships to democracies around the world. Good morning. Good afternoon, good night. I'm Bill Trezevant.